got one more video, which I think is Cunk. So let's get into this.
The actual Doomsday Book.
This is the actual Doomsday Book, yes.
And it's usually under glass, isn't it, this book?
Well, usually it's not accessible at all, so it's very rarely on display. So this is really quite a special occasion that we've got it out for you to be able to see it today.
So you're not allowed to touch it?
No.
I thought
we're stopping already.
What?
What's happening already?
Yeah.
We're stopping already. What do you mean
mean
we're stopping already? I'm confused. I'm confused. What's happening? What? I'm confused. What? I'm confused. Jack, I'm confused. What's going on? What do you mean? Then we've got this video and then we're going on to the list. Well, this is the last video of my pre-done batch, and then we're going to get into the list. Yes, we're watching Cunk and then we're getting to your guys' reactions. That's what's happening. We've got this Cunk video first.
I don't think there's a curse.
And then we're going to get to the list.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, where that Nazi gets his face melted off.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like that.
I'm afraid not.
No.
If we came from monkeys, why are there still monkeys?
Because some of those monkeys that lived a long time ago turned into other monkeys that we see today, like chimp monkeys and so on.
All right. So the monkeys that didn't turn into humans, they must be gutted that they didn't turn into humans.
Absolutely gutted.
Right. Sometimes when I watch these past life hypnosis programs on satellite channels, all the people on those, they're always ladies in waiting or gladiators. They're never monkeys. Why is that?
Probably because they don't actually remember their past lives. It's probably not true.
But I find it easier to believe that I was a lady in waiting than a monkey.
Well, it's maybe easy to believe that your ancestors were ladies in waiting, but I don't see the problem between believing both that your ancestors were ladies in waiting a few hundred years ago and before that were monkeys.
Ladies in waiting.
Monkey ladies in waiting.
It's made at Christmas.
Altogether, I'm sure we spend hundreds of millions of pounds at Christmas.
And how big a cut does the church get?
The church doesn't get anything.
They don't get anything?
No.
The supermarket near me's got about 30 tills. How
Yes.
many tills does Amazon have? There must be loads.
How many tills do Amazon have?
They don't have any tills.
What?
They have a computer.
One computer?
Yeah. Because no one goes there, do they? They just do
No,
it.
but I thought they'd still had to ring it through.
No, the computer does all that.
So there's one man at a computer just going.
No, I don't think there's a man. No, it just goes automatically. You do that. You're the till.
Did the printing press actually change anything of significance?
Gutenberg hadn't invented printing, which meant that ideas could be communicated throughout the world. Our culture would not have developed in the same way as it
True.
is. So in many ways, he has made the world, our modern world today.
So that's your idea of significant.
So how does the Doomsday Book compare to a book like The Runaway by Martina Cole?
I've not read The Runaway by Martina Cole, but
It's
I think
really good.
Okay, I think that's a work of fiction, so it's a made-up story. Whereas Doomsday is recording the land and landholding in England before the Norman Conquest and after the Norman Conquest. It kind of lists who holds land and what's within that land and how much it's worth, and it does that in a lot of detail. So Roger holds a land here it's just called Milderhope. It's probably going to have a different name now.
So how can we free the people living in this book?
Well, they don't live in the book.
But their souls are inside the book.
I don't think that's necessarily true. I think this.
I still don't get this humour. I don't.
But it's not. They're not in there. It's just it's just a record about them. It doesn't sort of contain their being or anything like that. We don't need to worry about them.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Are you sure?
An expert here with me, or have I? Or am
Have
I
you?
Here? Maybe I'm imagining them, or they're imagining me, or am I? Hello, philosophy lady.
Hello, philosophy lady.
Yes.
How do you know?
Well, I can see you. I can probably.
This is
hear you.
Cunk.
I can
I
hear
don't.
you.
It's a weird.
Thank you.
I don't know.
It is possible that I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
Charlie Brooker's Weekly White thing, I think, is
You
from.
could be dreaming, yes, but you asked me whether you were here.
So
and it's
if
true,
you
that's
were
a very-
dream, if I was dreaming, that wouldn't have happened. No, if you were
Wait.
dreaming, that wouldn't have happened.
If I were dreaming, then my belief that you are here might be false.
Right.
And unless I can tell that I'm not dreaming, therefore, it's possible that you're not here.
Yeah. But if we both sort of nip ourselves,
Well, the trouble with nipping yourself like that is you might dream that as well. I mean, any test you can do
yeah.
to see whether you're awake,
Like-
you could do when you're asleep.
Sleep.
Any belief that could be false if you were asleep is a
Yeah.
belief of whose truth you can't be certain unless you can be certain that you're awake.
A lot of revolutions seem to be about poor people overthrowing the rich. Do you think billionaires like Elon Musk should be worried about getting guillotined?
I think that the
Yes.
French Revolution certainly
Yes.
made a lot of people who were powerful very,
I can see that
very
happening.
worried about their existence.
I suppose Elon Musk could invent a machine that chops his own head off electronically before the mob arrives.
You know much more about this than I do.
I'm just guessing. What is a building?
A building is anything that anyone has built.
So my shoes are a building.
There may not be a building, they're a physical object. I guess a building is also something that people in some way live in or inhabit.
Right. And my nephew makes buildings in Minecraft. How much more does he need to do to be considered a qualified architect?
Well, to be a qualified architect in this country, you have to study 5
No,
years
no.
at university.
No, you've got it wrong. To be an architect, all you need to do is build a decent house in Minecraft. That's all you need to do. You just got to be a top tier Minecraft builder architect.
And do
Easy.
2 years in professional
Absolute
practice.
easy.
And how many of those years would be studying Minecraft?
Very few of them. You could continue looking at Minecraft at the same time, but you wouldn't normally use Minecraft as part of an architectural education.
But why not?
Just selling celebrities, for their organs. Because I'm sure someone would pay a fortune for, like, John Bishop's kidneys.
No, we haven't thought of that, and I think that the comedians do quite a lot for us sometimes that they don't want to do, and I suspect the sale of bodily parts would be slightly more than they or their representatives would.
Be a talking point, though, wouldn't it, if you had John Bishop's
It
kidneys?
wouldn't necessarily morbid talking point if John was no longer alive. I killed John Bishop.
Did you?
No, I'm just saying I killed John Bishop would be a odd talking point.
Why did Stone Age people bury all their stuff underground? Were they worried someone might steal it?
No, that's how we find it. It wasn't always underground. It was on the top. The reason we find it as archaeologists is that we go out and we dig it up.
No. Oh.
Well, the sun will run out of fuel in
Come on,
about
Brian.
4 billion years or so. And actually before that, it will begin to swell up, expand. And so we think the Earth will get incinerated.
Do you think we might be able to do something about it?
Stop it being incinerated.
Yeah, stop it being... Or the sun burning the Earth. Can't we put it out with a big hose or something?
It's an inevitable consequence of the laws of nature.
You're pleased with that, are you? You're happy with that? You're pleased with that?
Well, there's nothing I can do. I mean, also, the Andromeda Galaxy is going to hit us.
The Andromeda Galaxy, a whole galaxy is going to hit us.
Yeah. On about the same time scale, actually. So as the sun runs out of fuel and expands and incinerates the Earth, a galaxy of 400 billion stars is going to collide with us.
You're much gloomier than I expected. Because you're quite smiley.
Well, yeah, well, it's quite a long time in the future.
Speaking as an expert in
Very.
architecture, do you ever watch Homes Under the Hammer?
No, I don't know.
You don't watch Homes Under the Hammer?
I've never seen it, no.
You've never seen Homes Under the Hammer?
Even I've seen Homes Under the Hammer. Dad's obsessed with it.
Why not? You must have heard about it.
I haven't heard about it, no.
Don't you and the other architects talk about it?
It's not a subject that's ever come up, no.
I think you'd enjoy it. I think you'd get a lot out of it.
I shall go and have a look, yes.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah,
What's
definitely.
the most disgusting thing you've heard someone do with a red nose? Because my mate Paul, he did this party trick that he always does with the red nose, and he put it sort of on his intimate skin, and it sort of tore it, and it went septic.
Oh.
Actually, I think that might mean he qualifies for some sort of charity money.
That is the first and most disgusting thing I've heard done with a red nose.
It's awful, isn't it, to think what people might be doing with them right now.
So after the universe ends, there'll be nothing.
Nothing.
Depends what you mean by after the universe ends.
When it's exploded.
Well, it's not going to explode. It's going to, we think,
Melt.
carry on expanding.
Right, and then...
Forever.
Well, that'll be fine, won't it? We need the space.
We need the space.
Carries on doing that. Then galaxies get ripped apart. And then solar systems get ripped apart. And then even planets get ripped apart. And even atoms get ripped apart.
But so what?
All the stars will die.
Oh.
Even all the black holes that are left. The final sort of end points of the most massive stars will evaporate away.
So could we fall down a black hole?
Fall down.
Fall into one.
Is that the same? Because I heard that you could be, if you know, this is one way that the world could end, is that we're all just sucked off through a hole.
It's
that must be terrible. Can you imagine what it would feel like to be sucked off through a hole?
Yeah.
Could you imagine being sucked off through a hole? Could you imagine it? Right, we're moving on.